Mhm. Good afternoon, all of you. Hope you all are doing good. May God bless you all. Welcome to Commerce First Year class. Since last 2-3 days, we are learning the theory part of Commerce paper 1. Okay, we did few LAQs which were expected in the exam. Then yesterday we did few SAQs. So we'll move forward and see we have any SAQs left. We'll continue with those, or else we'll take up VSAQs. Right? All these we have done. Now let us again. This is also a very important SAQ. We'll take up this one. Explain the classification of sources of finance. Okay, this we did yesterday. Long term, short term. Then we'll do MSME and explain the significance in Indian economy. What is MSME and what is its significance in Indian economy? MSME stands for micro, small, and medium enterprises. MSME stands for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Very less, very small, and moderate. That is what MSME is. Now, these days, these MSMEs are gaining a lot of popularity. They are gaining a lot of critical acclaim in India. As the government of India is not able to generate so many job opportunities, even the government of India, whether the central government or the state government, they are encouraging the youth, they are encouraging the learned people, right, to start their own setup and be self-employed and also provide employment opportunities to others. For this purpose, the government of India and the state government are providing loans, subsidies, tax benefits. They even are providing smaller plots, okay, smaller land plots so that they can start the setup and all that. So let us get to know all these things in this answer, right? So what is the significance? First of all, what is MSME? I told you micro, small, and medium enterprises. Enterprises. The government of India has recently enacted the MSME Development Act 2006, which received the assent of President of India on 16 June 2006. That act came into force from 2006. Now, what is the significance? What is the importance of MSME? If we talk about the GDP, gross domestic product, or if we talk about the total output of the country, a substantial chunk is coming from MSMEs. The outputs, the products are a substantial chunk of the products are coming from SMEs. See what is given? Micro, small, and medium enterprises contribute nearly 8% to the GDP, 8% to gross domestic product of the country, and 45% of manufacturing output and 40% of exports. These are very, very good figures. Okay, contribution of 8% towards GDP, 45% and 40%. 40% towards manufacturing output and 40% towards the exports is a substantial chunk, I should say. Okay, so MSMEs are gaining property next to agriculture industry. After agriculture, they provide largest share of employment also. I told you, no, even the government is promoting these MSMEs because MSME not only encourage people to be self-employed, but they also provide employment opportunity to others also. So even the governments are encouraging that. So it is said that they are absorbing second to agriculture sector. They are widely dispersed across the country and produce diverse range of products and services to meet the needs of local market, global market, national and international market. So the products of these MSMEs, as it is said, no, they are catering to the local needs, national needs, as well as to international needs. As you see, 40% of their output is being exported. 40% their contribution towards the total exports is 40%. Imagine only MSME is contributing 40%. Then agriculture is there and the rest of the industries, isn't it? So then the Ministry of MSME has undertaken number of programs to help and assist entrepreneurs. Okay. So as a part of that program only, what I was telling you, know, they are being given smaller plots, they are being given tax privileges, tax benefits, tax holidays, loans at a subsidized rate. All these things are a part of this program only. Then, with these figures, we can understand the significance of MSME. The significance of MSME can be understood from the following figures. Here, in this answer, the emphasis is on the figures. Please pay attention while you are writing the figures. Okay, very, very important. Whether it is contribution to GDP, whether it is contribution to this manufacturing outputs, whether it is contribution to exports, the figures are very important. Again, 90% of MSMEs in India are unregistered. That is, they are not getting license. They are starting their own setup. So even the government of India doesn't know that. If these 90% are also enrolled or registered, then definitely their contribution is missing here, no? The contribution of unregistered MSME is not on record. So that figure is missing here. So this figure will still go up if those are also taken into consideration. So then, out of which nearly 80% are sole proprietors. They don't want to get involved in all this process and all that, right? But once they are also registered, as I said, the figures would definitely change. Then 40% of export in India are through MSME channel, this we know already. 40% of employment opportunities provided by C. Again, next to agriculture, we can say India is a predominantly agriculture country. Major population of India, it is said that is engaged in agriculture activities, and this MSME is next to agriculture, contributing how much? 40%, absorbing 40%. Then MSME provides investment opportunities to entrepreneurs according to their class of investments. Like if it is small, micro, very small, micro, little one, small, moderate one, medium, like this, right? Then MSE provides a good market for foreign companies to start business in India. Only few points and 5 marks. Okay. So these are the significance of MSME. MSME stands for micro, small, medium enterprises. We see in this answer, figures are very, very important. Be perfect with the percentages given. Okay. The next one is, now though Government of India is providing every support to these MSMEs, still they are having some problems. So now let us see what are the problems these MSMEs are facing. What are the problems these MSMEs are facing that we'll learn about. Out of these two, I guarantee you'll get one answer. Either the significance of MSMEs or the problems faced by MSMEs. One is sure to come. Either the significance of MSME or the problems faced by MSME. One answer is sure to come in your exam. Now let us see what are the problems faced by MSMEs. The first one is increase in competition. See, MSMEs work on a very low level. Their investment capacity is very low. They cannot adopt the advanced technology. So the output of their is not of very superior quality. So they cannot compete with the products of a very big industry. So that is one very important problem faced by MSME from MNCs. MNC stands for C. MSME is a very small unit. MSME is a very small unit. Then we have MNC, multinational corporation. Say, for example, there is a small furniture unit. They are manufacturing one chair. They are manufacturing one chair. Since they are not able to adopt advanced technology, the quality of this chair will not be as glamorous as that of a MNC. Suppose it's a very big furniture workshop, like we have IKEA, we have Bankia, like this. Their chair comparatively would look more good than the chair manufactured by a small MSME. Moreover, the cost here will be high because they do not have high advanced technology. Their cost of production will be more. So they will not be able to compete with the MNCs. That is the first problem faced by MSME. It is the competition from MNC. MNC stands for multinational corporations. Companies having operations in more than one country. Such companies are called as MNC, isn't it? Like we have Deloitte in India, isn't it? We have Samsung company, we have Nokia company. All these companies are MNCs. They are having operations in multiple countries. So that is the first point. Increasing competition from MNCs. Next, insufficient bank credits. Banks also do not come forward to give loans to MSMEs because there is a lack of consistency in the continuity of MNC. MNCs, they don't trust. MSMEs, they don't trust. The banks don't trust the continuation of MSMEs. As such, they do not take a bold step to give loan to MSME. Okay, so that is one of the problem where they are not having sufficient financial support so that they can start operation and continue operation, right? Yeah, so what is given here, you see, the MSMEs are facing difficulty by getting sufficient loan by not getting sufficient loan. They have to provide various documents to bank to prove their capability for getting credit from bank. Yeah, obviously, whether it is a MSME or any other business organization, they have to prove their credit worthiness to get the loan from bank, isn't it? So there, our MSCs are facing a lot of problem. They are not able to provide the required documents, and they are not able to prove their credit worthiness, credibility. Next, poor infrastructure facilities. See, MSMEs operate in a very small area. Okay. Now the government is providing them smaller plots in industrial parks where all the facilities are there, where the infrastructure is good. If they are having a setup in such areas, not an issue. But if they are operating from any area where all this connectivity is not there, power problem is there, water problem is there, transportation problem is there, with all these problems, their survival is at question mark. Their survival is a challenge with all these problems around. Then, outdated technology. I told you just now, because their investment capacity is not high. They do not have sufficient fund to purchase the new technology. There they are lagging behind because of this lack of advanced technology. They will not be able to produce goods on a large scale. They will not be able to produce goods of very superior quality because they are following still the conventional and traditional method of production without adopting to the advanced technology. Then outdated marketing and distribution strategies. Again, the same thing. See, if it is a multinational corporation, if it is a multinational company, they can engage a big star. They can have a big platform to market their product. We see, no, Samsung company or a Oppo company or any mobile company or any two-wheelers company or any four-wheelers company, they invest crores and crores rupees for advertisement. Okay, that is their marketing strategy because they can afford to do that. Their capacity is not at question. Their financial ability, their financial capacity is very, very high. They can afford to have one separate department of advertisement, isn't it? But when it comes to MSME, they cannot spend much amount on advertisement. So unless product is advertised, it will not get sold. That is one problem they are facing. जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. तब तक जब तक आप दिखाएंगे नहीं, जब तक प्रोडक्ट लोगों को पता चलेगा नहीं, तब तक वो बिकेगा नहीं. right? Then the last two, lack of training and skill enhancement program. Well, you write this point, but then let me tell you, we have these programs by state government of Telangana where they are continuously providing skill development programs to boost their, this skills, to boost the skills of MSMEs. Telangana government is providing continuous skill development programs, but then here it is written. So let us learn it. Lack of training and skill enhancement programs. Very few programs are conducted. Okay, it is given, no? Conducted, but then maybe they are not at that scale where they can compete again with a very skilled technology of MNC. The awareness program conducted by government are not reaching all the MSMEs of the country. The owners of MSME are not even aware of such training programs and innovative methods of production. So here I would say the government should take care that they should reach every small MSME also. They should create a platform where every small MSME also should come to know about such programs organized by the government, and they should take part in such activities so as to enhance their abilities, they enhance their skills, and which would help them produce quality goods, superior quality goods. Then lack of inputs and raw material. Again, the provision of raw material is also a very big issue for MSMEs, where a multinational company can pay advance amounts, huge advance amounts, and book for raw material, whereas the MSME cannot give advance amount. So as such, they may be facing problem in procuring raw material for their production process. Okay, that's it. Then the next question is, what are the benefits of e-business to organization? E-business stands for electronic business. Any business done through use of electronic gadget is e-business. We purchase goods online. We order through a laptop or mobile by use of internet. This is an e-business. I'm using a electronic gadget for booking something. We are ordering food on Swiggy, Zomato. Again, this is an example of e-business. We are not going personally to get some food product what we want. We are ordering it online. This is an example of e-business. So as I told you, e-business means doing business by use of any electronic gadget, whether mobile, laptop, computer, and what is the interface here? It is the internet, through internet. So, one second. So, what are the benefits of e-business to organization, to customer, to society? We'll see a glance of those. What are the benefits of e-business to organization? So as I told you, what is e-business? Term e-business refers to integration of business tools based on information and communication technology to improve the functioning of the company. It is very technical definition. I told you in a very small method. Doing business through electronic gadget is e-business. Okay. What are the benefits to the organization? Reach to beyond boundaries. Suppose we are not doing business online, then we have to wait for the customer. Suppose I'm running a garment shop. I have to sit and wait for the customer to come. Okay. And if the customer stays far away, he will not come to my shop. He'll take somewhere which is nearby. But now, because of this e-business, people sitting anywhere, any part of India or any part of the country, they can book order and get my product. So I am able to reach to farthest customer. I am able to reach to a wider market as compared to the typical and conventional physical business, right? So it is reach beyond boundaries. Yeah, I can book any order of a product which is prevalent in America, or somebody sitting in America can book for book that order, book the product online from India. Next is cost saving. Now that the business is to be done online, they don't have to have big showrooms. They can stock their product somewhere in some godown and have this internet facility and can do business online. And obviously, when there is no showroom, there is no salesman, the cost will be low. As such, we see that the products online as compared to the products in the store are comparatively very competitive. They are able to give at a very lesser price because they are not having all these expenses which a physical shop owner has to, isn't it? So cost saving. Second, competitive benefits. Reduced process timing allows for customization of products and services for achieving competitive advantages. Now we have an option, no? We have an option online. If I want to book a product, I first see on Amazon. I see for the same product on some other platform, some other e-commerce operator. Okay, so I am having a competitive advantage here. The same way the business, the organization is also having a competitive benefit out of this. Okay, next is earlier capital collection. We have this facility of online booking and advance also, online payment in advance, so that the organization is receiving the amount in advance. Without, sometimes they'll give cash on delivery also, but mostly we see that there is online facility which we have to pay first, then the order will be delivered. So that they are getting earlier capital collection. The companies are getting the amount first. That's it. Okay. Chalo. Then let us not take this. Let us go to VSAQs. 5 VSAQs will fetch you 10 marks. 5 twos are 10 marks. So let us take some VSAQs. There are many, but I'll take only which are very important. The first 3 are profession, employment, business. The first 3 VSAQs are profession, business, and employment. You see any person, there is some Mr. X. There is one Mr. X. Say Mr. A. He will be either doing job, or he will be doing some business, or he will be a professional. These are the economic activities which a person does to earn source of livelihood, isn't it? Profession means this particular aspect requires expertise. Like a doctor is there, a chartered accountant is there, a lawyer is there. Can anybody become a doctor? No, you have to pursue medicine. Can anybody become lawyer? No, he has to pursue law. So they are an expertise in their own field. So such profession, this thing is called as profession. Profession means an occupation which renders specialized expert personal services like doctors, engineers, chartered accountants. All these are called as the professions. Then employment. Employment is a relationship between two persons, one the employer, the other employee. Employee will render his services for salary. Employee will render his services for salary. Next is business. Business is, yesterday we learned this definition, no? Any human activity which is to create wealth through purchase and sale of goods is called as business. Just like 2 lines. Just like 2 lines, and you'll get 2 marks for that. Okay. Next is trade. Trade is buying and selling of goods. What is trade? Trade is buying and selling of goods in a marketplace. Next we have entrepot trade. Foreign trade is divided into 3 categories. See, basically trade is classified into 2. One is home trade, the other one is foreign trade. One is home trade. Trade, I said, is buying and selling of goods in a marketplace. Okay, buying and selling of goods in a marketplace is called as trade. Trade is divided into home trade and foreign trade. Foreign trade is further divided into exports, imports, and entrepot trade. Right? So here, this is a very sure question. Entrepot trade. Now, what is export? If a country is selling goods to other country, we call it as export trade. If a country is selling goods to other countries, we call it as export trade. If a country is buying from other country, we call it as import trade. And if a country is buying from one country and selling it to other country, we call it as entrepot trade. Suppose this is India. Let us say this is Pakistan and say Sri Lanka. If India is buying wheat from Pakistan for personal consumption, we call this trade as import trade. If India is selling goods to Sri Lanka, we call it as export trade. But imagine India is purchasing from Pakistan and selling it to Sri Lanka. This trade is called as anti-pot trade. So buying from one country and selling it to some other country, we call it as anti-pot trade. And anti-pot trade is one of the foreign trades. Okay. Next we have transportation is one of the services which will try to create place utility. Okay. What will happen because of transportation? Because of transportation, goods will move from the place of production to the place of consumption. Imagine there is a product which is manufactured in, let us say, Kashmir. Kashmiri shawls are there. Kashmir is known for Kashmiri shawls, but they have a market in Hyderabad also. They have a market in South India also. So the goods have to move from Kashmir to Hyderabad. Who comes to the aid? It is a transportation services. Okay. So transportation creates place utility. Transportation creates place utility. Then we have warehousing. Warehousing is, see, again, there is a time gap between the time of production and the time of consumption. There is a time gap between the time of production and time of consumption. So till that time, the goods have to be stored somewhere safely. So warehouse comes to our help there. So warehouse is creating time utility. Warehouse is creating time utility. Then what is a government company, holding company, subsidiary company? Okay, we'll have a look at this. What is a government company? A government company is one in which the stake of government is more than 51%. In any company, if the stake of government, if the share of government is 51% or more, we call such company as a government company. Like suppose we have examples here, you see. Hindustan Steels Limited. In this, more than 50% of shares are held by our state government or central government or state government and central government. Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. Okay, like this. All these are government companies. So what is a government company? Government companies are those in which the government required to hold 51% or more. Suppose there is, like let us take for example BHEL. Suppose BHEL, example I am giving, is having total capital of 1 crore. Out of this, with 51 lakhs or more should be purchased by either the state government or central government, then we can call BHEL as a government company. In any company, if the stake of 51% or more is held by either state government or central government, such company is called as a government company. Okay. Then holding company and subsidiary company. We have two more, holding company and subsidiary company. Now let us take one example. Suppose there is X limited company, there is Y limited company. X limited company and Y limited company. Y limited company is having a capital of 1 lakh. Y limited is having a capital of 1 lakh. Out of this 1 lakh, if 51 lakhs worth of shares are purchased by X limited, it is very similar to government company. Okay, but here government is not involved. These two are either private limited companies or public limited companies. So out of total 1 lakh capital, if 51 lakh is held by X limited company, then we call X limited company as holding company and Y limited company as subsidiary company. X limited is called as holding company and Y limited is called as subsidiary company. Okay. Then this we have done, promotion we have done yesterday in LAQ, SAQ. Who are promoters? What are the functions of promoters we did yesterday? Then Business finance we did. Let us just go through once. What does promotion means? It is an activity taken up by the promoters in incorporation of a company. So it is the first step in formation of company. It involves identification of idea, gathering the requirements and implementing it. Promotion is considered as putting an idea into practice. And who are the person who do that? Who are the person who does it? It is the promoter. He conceives the idea. So in the steps of formation of a company, in the stages of formation of company, promotion stands to be the first one. Okay, so promotion is the first step in formation of a company. Next is promoter. A person who does promotion is called as promoter. Who is promoter? Promoter is the person who does promotion. Okay, so promoter is one who undertakes to form a company. He is instrumental in bringing a company into existence. Promoter may be individual or a firm or a company or any institution. Next, we have capital subscription or minimum subscription. Okay, this is also asked many a time. Minimum subscription. Now, the minimum amount of capital to be collected by a public company before its allotment of shares is known as minimum subscription. A public company cannot commence business unless a minimum subscription is achieved, and it is said that for a public limited company, at least 90% of subscription should be received. If not, the company cannot commence its operation. Like example, I'll give. Suppose a company had issued 1 lakh shares. So at least 90%, 90,000 shares should get subscription. That is called as minimum subscription. And if it is not done, then the subscription has to be called out. Now, what is this amount used for? The amount of minimum subscription is fixed by taking these things into consideration. What is this minimum subscription comprises of? That is what we are learning. How do we decide the minimum subscription? What are the factors we take into consideration for determining the minimum subscription? It is amount required for purchase of property, that is fixed capital, we can say. I told you, no, capital is divided into two. One is fixed capital, the other one is working capital. So the first this thing is requirement, what we take into consideration is amount required for purchase of property. Second, amount needed for payment of preliminary expenses. Now, what do we mean by preliminary expenses? These can be called as formation expenses. Preliminary expenses can also be called as formation expenses. Before the company comes into existence, there are legal formalities to be fulfilled. Like I told you, submission of MOA, AOA, prospectus, and we have to pay the required fees for registration. All these amounts spent before the company comes into existence is called as preliminary expenses, or they are also called as formation expenses. They are called as formation expenses. Next, amount required for working capital, right? See, I told you, no, fixed capital and working capital. Fixed capital is for acquisition of fixed assets and working capital is for day-to-day operation. Like once the company is started, they have to purchase raw material. Every month they have to pay salaries, they have to pay electricity bill, they have to pay telephone bill. There are so many such expenses which they incur in day-to-day operation. Such expenses are called as working capital. Next is amount required for any other expenditure for formation of the company. Apart from that, if any other amount is required, that is also taken into consideration when minimum subscription is determined. Right? Next we have business finance we did yesterday. Finance is called as the lifeblood of every business. Okay. Finance is called as lifeblood of any organization, whether to start or to survive or to expand. Every business needs finance. See, the requirement of fund by business firm to accomplish its various activities is called business finance, and it is termed as lifeblood of any organization. The success of any industry depends on the availability of adequate funds. See, for everything we require funds, no? So funds is as good as blood for any body to survive. Okay. Then I throw with the note. Then out of these four, one you can expect what is e-banking, e-auctioning, e-trading, and e-business. E-business we did a SAQ. Let us see what is e. Basically, whenever there is this letter E prefix before anything, it means electronic. So if I say e-banking, I mean electronic banking. Earlier, when internet was not there, or when telephone, suppose let us say not telephone, we directly have to go to bank for any service, no? Whether to deposit money, whether to withdraw money, we used to go to bank. But these days, if we want to withdraw, we'll go to any ATM. So what is that we are doing? We are doing e-banking. We are using an electronic gadget to withdraw money. That is e-banking. If I want to check my balance, I can do on mobile. What is that? That is e-banking, or we call it as mobile banking, isn't it? So E is using of any electronic gadget. So e-banking is one of the successful online business. In case of e-banking, customer of the bank can go through their account detail by using bank's website with the help of internet services for withdrawing, for depositing, everything at the call service. Okay, we don't have to go physically to the bank. Then e-auctioning. Okay, these days we have this online selling this thing, no? We can sell our old products also online. If you put it on, what is given here, see? E-auctioning or electronic auctioning facilities people to take part in the auction without wasting their personal time. You don't have to go there. You can put your bid on internet, and if it is up to the satisfaction of the customer, you will get that product. Okay. Then e-trading. This is doing trading of securities online. Okay. And these days, again, we don't have physical trading done in stock exchange. We can open a demat account and can do trading sitting at home, right? Then e-business we already have done. Okay, so we are done with all the important LAQs, SAQs, and VSAQs also. Okay. Now, today is the last session. So I wish you all the very best for you. Please do prepare well and do crack the exams with confidence. Okay. So I'm ending the session here. God bless you all. Stay safe. Bye. Okay.